Dear listener, tonight you are invited to leave behind the noise of the day and step into a space of calm, comfort, and gentle reflection. Here, we share stories, histories, and timeless facts told in a soothing rhythm that helps you unwind and drift peacefully towards sleep. Each episode is crafted to last long enough for you to relax fully, to let your mind wander, and to find rest in the quiet embrace of storytelling. Whether we explore ancient traditions, forgotten legends, or thoughtful reflections on life, every word is chosen to bring you closer to tranquility. If you enjoy these gentle journeys and wish to hear more stories in the nights to come, I warmly invite you to subscribe to this channel. By joining, you ensure that each new tale, each calming reflection, will be waiting for you whenever you need rest and peace. So settle in, breathe deeply, and allow yourself to be carried by the flow of the narrative. This is your time to rest, your time to dream, and your time to be gently guided into sleep. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, I invite you to journey with me through time, across centuries and cultures, to discover the origins of a day that has become synonymous with love. Valentine's Day, as we know it today, is filled with roses, chocolates, and tender words. But its roots stretch far deeper, into ancient rituals, sacred traditions, and stories passed down through generations. As you listen, allow each word to settle gently in your mind, like the soft rhythm of waves upon a shore. This is not just a history lesson, but a lullaby of human connection, a reminder that love has always been part of our story. Long before the name Valentine was spoken, mid-February was already a time of celebration. In ancient Rome, the festival of Lupercalia was held from February 13th to 15th. This was a festival of fertility, purification, and renewal, dedicated to the god Faunus, protector of shepherds and flocks. Imagine the city of Rome, its streets alive with ritual, its people gathered in anticipation of spring. Priests known as Luperci would perform ceremonies that included sacrifices and symbolic acts meant to ensure health and fertility for the year ahead. But beyond the rituals, there was a sense of transition. Winter was beginning to loosen its grip, and the promise of spring stirred quietly in the air. The people of Rome believed that by honoring these traditions, they could invite prosperity and harmony into their lives. Though far removed from the gentle romance we associate with Valentine's Day today, these ancient practices remind us that February has long been seen as a season of renewal. Renewal of the earth, renewal of the spirit, and renewal of the bonds that tie people together. Centuries later, as Christianity spread across the Roman Empire, stories began to emerge of a man named Valentine, or perhaps more than one, for history tells us of several martyrs who bore that name. One of the most enduring legends speaks of a priest who lived during the 3rd century under the rule of Emperor Claudius II. Claudius, it is said, forbade young men from marrying, believing that single soldiers fought more bravely. Valentine, moved by compassion, defied the emperor's decree and secretly performed marriages for lovers who wished to unite. For this act of defiance, he was imprisoned and eventually executed. Some stories say that while in prison, Valentine befriended the jailer's daughter, and before his death, he signed a note to her with the words, "From your Valentine." Whether fact or legend, this tale has lingered through centuries, becoming a symbol of devotion and sacrifice. Other versions of the story tell of Valentine comforting persecuted Christians, offering them strength and hope in times of fear. In each telling, Valentine becomes more than a man. He becomes a symbol of love that endures even in the face of hardship, love that resists authority, love that survives imprisonment, love that continues even when life itself is taken away. In the year 496, Pope Gelasius I declared February 14th as the feast day of Saint Valentine, replacing the pagan festival of Lupercalia with a Christian commemoration. Over time, the day became associated not only with martyrdom, but also with compassion, sympathy, and eventually, romantic love. Imagine the quiet churches of medieval Europe, where prayers were whispered in honor of Saint Valentine. Candles flickered in the still air, and the faithful gathered to remember a man who had given his life for love and faith. In these sacred spaces, the seeds of a new tradition were quietly taking root, a tradition that would grow, evolve, and eventually blossom into the celebration we know today. It was not until the Middle Ages that Valentine's Day began to take on its romantic character. In the 14th century, poets such as Geoffrey Chaucer wrote of February 14th as a day when birds began to pair, marking the start of spring and symbolizing love. This poetic association spread through Europe, inspiring nobles and commoners alike to exchange verses, tokens, and declarations of affection. The tradition of courtly love, gentle, idealized, and often expressed through poetry, gave Valentine's Day its romantic essence. Imagine candlelit halls, parchment letters sealed with wax, and words of devotion carried across time. The rhythm of poetry, soft and melodic, became intertwined with the rhythm of love itself. Love became art, expressed in words, gestures, and rituals that elevated affection into something timeless. From medieval poetry to Victorian cards, Valentine's Day continued to evolve. By the 18th and 19th centuries, exchanging handwritten notes became common, and with the rise of printing, mass-produced Valentine cards spread across Europe and America. These cards often carried delicate illustrations of hearts, flowers, and doves, symbols that we still recognize today. In the 20th century, the holiday grew into a commercial celebration, with chocolates, roses, and jewelry becoming popular gifts. Yet beneath the surface of commerce lies the same timeless desire to express love, to remind someone that they are cherished, and to celebrate the bonds that connect us. Valentine's Day is often seen as a celebration of romantic love, but its deeper meaning extends further. It is also about friendship, kindness, and the bonds that tie families together. Love is not limited to romance. It is the gentle care of a parent, the loyalty of a friend, the compassion of a stranger. Love is the invisible thread that connects us all, weaving through history, culture, and memory. Symbols of Valentine's Day carry their own stories. The rose, with its delicate petals and thorns, speaks of beauty and vulnerability, passion and caution. The heart, simple yet profound, has become the universal emblem of love, representing not only romance, but also compassion and humanity. The dove, gentle and pure, symbolizes peace and fidelity, reminding us that love is not only fiery, but also calm, enduring, and serene. As you listen, let these reflections remind you that love surrounds you in many forms. It is in the laughter of children, the comfort of companionship, and the quiet moments of understanding shared between people. It is in the stories of sacrifice, the poems of devotion, and the traditions that have carried love across centuries. And so, dear listener, Valentine's Day is not merely a modern invention, nor simply a day of gifts and greetings. It is a story that stretches across centuries, from ancient Roman rituals to Christian legends, from medieval poetry to the celebrations we know today. It is a reminder that love, whether romantic, familial, or simply the kindness we show to one another, is a force that endures as you close your eyes and allow sleep to carry you gently away. Let the story of Valentine's Day be a soft lullaby, a reminder that love surrounds you in history, in tradition, and in the quiet moments of your own life. Rest now, and may your dreams be filled with peace, warmth, and the gentle embrace.